Monday. Welcome to another edition of the Opening Kick. I am once again here with you in Aniana. My internet is acting crazy tonight, so if things get wonky, bear with us. We'll be with you. So if there's a lag, it's because I've gone back in time with the internet and where I am. But one thing that's constant is the man sitting next to me, and that's the man with all the titles, all SEC DB, Bills Mafia on the field, in the front office, all the first GM college football. I feel like it's Rocky IV when they're announcing Apollo Creed and he has all the titles and stuff. What's up, my man Smoke?
We're not worthy, bro.
We're not worthy. Good roll tide. Happy evening. How you doing this evening?
You know what?
How you doing,
I'm doing
sir?
good. Sat down and watched some of that basketball game yesterday. I wanted to be a little bit better. College World Series, awesome. And I'm just getting ready to get to it, man. It's a fun show. Let's do it.
We got a good show. We're going to talk some new champions and some old champions. And we're going to bring back a segment from last year. This is our first return segment where I put SEC teams into tiers, and Smoke tells me I'm crazy because I have them in the wrong spot, or either I've got it right. We'll see. And you fans, we want y'all to chime in and let us know your thoughts as well. But first of all, hit that like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter X, come over to the Bama Standard on YouTube. That way you can get all your content. Speaking of Aniana, we have Aniana's own Lamont Russell coming to you live on the Bama Standard tomorrow night. You won't want to miss. So, again, hit that like and subscribe. Oh, Jimmy Clay. Before we get going, we got super chaining in. I guess he heard that I needed some gas money. Good gracious. Am I smoke? Jimmy Clay with the super chat, $20. That way I have gas money to get down to Dothan for this Bama Standard and Kevin Jackson's ALS golf tournament coming up.
Appreciate you, Jimmy.
Woo. Sorry, Smoke.
Well, we just know that you're in Aniana,
Jimmy,
bro. It's all
appreciate that super chat. Like Smoke said, we got a jam-packed. Yeah.
How about your man Ephraim off the top, man? He said you got a question for me. He said off the rip. Someone asked me, why don't DBs get their head turned around? How would you answer that? All right. And you know what? This is why the show's so special, because we get to the fans' question right away. Here goes a couple of the reasons why. They're uncomfortable with getting their heads around just because they don't trust their coaching, and they don't trust when the ball is in the air that they can get their head around, find it, locate the man next to them, and go up and go get it. And whenever I'm recruiting, that's why I always wanted to recruit either quarterbacks that are athletic to play DB or receivers that are tough enough and physical enough and they're willing tacklers in order to play DB, because the more comfortable you are with the ball in the air, the better DB you're going to be. And if you just play DB and you're not a receiver and you don't get a ton of balls thrown at you, footballs, in live game action, you would never, ever truly get comfortable with having natural ball skills. But if you're a receiver and you go on the other side and the ball is in the air, all you want to do is a DB's turn to a receiver. But if you're already a receiver, you already understand what to do. Locate the ball, track the ball, go up and get it. But it's all a tracking issue. And things like that can be coached. Hopefully I answered your questions. Throw more balls at them. Put them in tough situations. At some point, they'll get comfortable enough with it. But that's why just taking DBs only out of college, out of high school to make them play DB in college, those are a couple of things. So it don't matter how many drills that you do with the cones and foot ladder and all that stuff. At the end of the day, as a defensive back, you got to get the ball back to your team. And the ball's going to be in the air, but you're back to it. You're not going to know where the ball is going to be for a quick second, but you have to have enough confidence to locate and go up and go get it. Hopefully that answered this question, DB-wise, Pettey.
Like sick.
DB-wise, Pettey.
Okay. Hey, no, like you said, Smoke, that's what makes us special, answering questions out of the gate, Ephraim. And that was, man, good stuff, because I think that's a complaint. Smoke, you don't hear it because you're on the field, but armchair quarterbacks, that's what, man, DB, get your head around, get that interception. So good stuff right out of the gate. Speaking of out of the gate, I am in Aniana. I'm working at Lamstone Company. You got one more week to come see me live here in the Lamstone at the home shop. But like I said, go to realrockstone.com. They are a sponsor here. If you are building that dream home, you dreamed of having that beautiful natural stone, check out realrockstone.com. Lamstone Company, located in Aniana, like I said, where I'm located, one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. And if you tell them we sent you today using the promo code, the Bama Standard, you will receive 10% off your first purchase. Smoke, like
I'm still waiting for my percentage off, I'll tell you that.
Like you said, Smoke, you've been sitting around watching a little bit of championship, a new breed to it. The Thunder, man, took it. Hey, we called it last week. We said it would go to Game 7. It in fact went to Game 7.
We might know a little something, don't we?
Might know a little something about something, right?
Something about something to get something. So let's get to the something. Because you've been buzzing me all morning long after my man SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, scoring champion, regular season MVP, finals MVP. Only 3 others have done it. And I think it's wonderful, man. I think that he's a budding superstar. And the reason why I think he's a superstar on a young team, I believe they were the youngest team that won a championship, is when he was asked to show up, he showed up and he showed out in pressure situations. They went at him back and forth series. He was put in tough positions and he just came out on top. And he was always that guy in the in the tough situations, nail biting situations, clutch shots, never ducked anything, took it all on his shoulders. So that's what I think a superstar is. And he uplifted everybody else that was around him. Jalen Williams played outstanding. Chet Holmgren played good.
Chet Holmgren, it was a superstar. And like you said, though, he elevated a lot of young guys around him. And that's what, if you're looking for a team to get into with the NBA, these guys are first, second year out of Gonzaga, St. Clair, and say Gilgeous, he's a Kentucky boy, but man, it's they're the real deal, man. This wasn't, again, they were small market. A lot of people might have missed them through the regular season, but that Pacers team was feisty and to win
and again, that OKC team, this ain't a one-hit wonder.
No,
they're young and they're going to have a chance. I hear people throwing the word dynasty. That's a tough conversation. Let them get good at being good for a period of time. And after a few, let's get into that conversation. After one, they're just young and trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a lot of pressure that you don't put on a young team like that. That's just trying to figure out how to win. They got it now, but how to win consistently. Now they're being the hunted. They're not hunting anymore. They're the hunted. And when you're the hunted, your mindset got to change. You got to get over that championship, this lag that you're going to have. How hungry are they going to be being young players to get back and stay on top? That's a whole nother animal. So let's not crown them yet. And let's just reward them by them going out and playing real well, good coaching, good defense, and an elite mid-range scorer in SGA.
And that's a great point, Smoke. Let's give them their roses and their props for winning the title. Such a young team and do it so excitingly. But one of the things that made, and roll tide, Latoya, appreciate your questions, Ephraim. Guys, I don't know if I got frozen there for a second. My internet is back running smooth, knock on wood. If y'all missed it, Jimmy Clay, appreciate the $20 super chat. I needed that gas money to get to Dothan. I don't know if that came through or not, Smoke. Did it?
No, I did. You were good.
Okay, y'all were getting me. I wasn't getting y'all. But no, to your point, doing it once is one thing, but what made Nick Saban great and what made the next team we're going to talk about great is what makes dynasties is to do it more than once. LSU just won their 8th national title in Omaha. And this isn't like they're doing it with one coach. Programs, they're kind of reaching that rarefied air of they are a dynasty program. What do you think, Smoke?
You know what? My neighbor is a huge LSU fan, like I said. And I started locking in towards the end of the season. But, bro, if you can't hit, you can't pitch. Don't even go down to LSU because they're elite at doing both. And those two pitchers, Anderson and my man Anthony.
Yeah, Ianson.
Anthony Ianson.
Mm.
Bro, first of all, he's built like he's been working out since he was 5 years old. And when you have two guys that can just go back to back like that, Coastal Carolina, hats off to them because they played their tails off.
They did.
And they played it the right way. But when you're winning 1-0 and 10 strikeouts and Cade wasn't even on his game, like it wasn't an off night, but he wasn't super locked in. He just went out there and gave the world a B game. But his B game is damn near everybody else's A++ game.
Man, if my B game is on my 125th pitch throwing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on that outside corner, and you're right, it wasn't his best game, but he was still he's just so nasty and coming from the left side of the plate, and then to back him up with the Ensign kid is a 1-2 punch. But then, and you know, like you said, you got to hit. Jared Jones, man, all-time home run hitter at first base.
Is that the Bear?
That's the Bear at first base. You know,
Bear.
he went into a slump, but what a great players do. And that's the beauty of baseball. You can not get a hit for 2 weeks. And then when the game's on the line in the biggest moment, you hit that home run and all is forgotten, which he did against Arkansas to put them into that championship against Coastal. LSU
that was, whoa. Now, you want to hit the brakes for a second. That game was nail biting, man. That was an outstanding game. Now, Arkansas they blew it.
Oh, God.
They blew it.
That's a whole other subject. Arkansas and Omaha. Woo,
yeah, we won't go down that rabbit hole because it gets deep. And when you start burrowing down, I don't think we can get out in 15 seconds.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn has a history, man. They may be the best program in the SEC and have not in the last decade and haven't won a title, but get so dang close so often just to do whatever.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Because and it feels like my old Buffalo Bills. It's like you're getting so close.
It does.
You can taste it. You can get close, but you can't hold it or touch it. I hate it for him, man. Like I said, it turned out for an entertaining game for us, but I know on their side, they were heartbroken, man. But
like Tough as Nails says, bridesmaid, and it goes back to LSU, Skip Bertman, who started the program, but then turned it over to a guy, you're going to love this name, Smoke Laval, who won one in the shadows. Then Paul Maneri comes down from Notre Dame and wins one. And now you got Jay Johnson, who's won 2 in, 3 years at this dynasty is getting up there with, the wooden UCLA teams. And
I like, you know what, Petty, I like where you're going with this. So let me ask you a question. All right. And it's like nature or nurture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it the place that commands all these wins and championships or the people in the place?
Ooh.
Because, you look at places like Alabama. North Carolina basketball.
Yep.
Dean's won. Roy's won. Hubert's won. You look at Alabama. Paul, Bear Bryant, Colt Stallings, Nick Saban. When you show up to those places, there's rings and things.
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball. So is it getting a good coach? Because you can't get average and think that you're going to be great. Get a good coach that knows how to recruit elite players. And that's the reason why those places win, or do those places attract elite coaches and elite players to perform, or good coaches and elite players to perform at a level of greatness? Because you just can't go to certain places and be mediocre.
No, and I tell you, that's great. And I love how you finished it. You can't just go certain places and be mediocre. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, thinking about programs like Alabama and LSU. And it seems like, they don't win championships every year. Nobody does that. But it seems like anytime they're up for a championship, LSU's in Omaha, Bama's playing for a national title, you're like, oh, hell, watch out, because these teams just seem to know how to do it. So I don't know, Smoke. I think it's a little bit of all of it, but I do think there's certain programs, and not just college, but the New York Yankees, that have this mystique that when they get to championship And it's like it bleeds through the uniform into the kids because it's not the same players from year to year. It is new guys, but it's almost like those new guys look in the mirror and see that uniform and realize, man, there's a different standard when wearing that cloth. Hell, I don't know, man, but the fans
you know what? Being a guy that's donned that crimson jersey, there's a certain aspect of excellence, because when Coach Sweeney, Coach Dubose, and Coach Cheese home visited me when I was getting recruited, like the number one thing Coach Sweeney said to me was like, "Hey, listen, like, you know, it's every decade that we get one." Mm-hmm. You know, and we got one in the 90s, and that was 99 when I was getting recruited, class of 99. And it's like, you got to bring your class in, and we got to get that next one in the 2000s. Now, we're close to it, but we didn't do it. But that was just the understanding of what the expectation is. And it's not something that's drummed up or far-fetched. It's no, like, this is what it is. Just like when Coach Saban was at Bama, it was like every class needs a natty, or else like we're falling short of what the standard is. So I think LSU in baseball is there. Kentucky in basketball, yes. At one point, UCLA in basketball. Yep. Now, can we say now Florida in basketball? And is the SEC, you know, if they win a natty in the football, I mean, do they reign true to being the best conference in all major sports? Because they're going to have the basketball champs in Florida, baseball in LSU, and now we're waiting for the football outcome.
Speaking of, what a great segue into football, because, I mean, let's be real. The SEC might not win it, but it's got to run through the SEC to get it.
Oh, because it matters. It just matters in the SEC.
These commercial, you can make fun of it all you want. It does. It
just matters.
It just matters a little more.
Pettey, you know what? I just got a text from one of our guys, one of our sponsors. They said that if we don't do it, we shall be removed.
Speaking of what matters going to whitwillsports.com and having that title towel in hand for that first Alabama game. That's what matters. Go to whitwillsports.com today. Get that beautiful title towel that my man Smoke's carrying right over there in the screen next to me, and have that.
Pettey, you know what I need? I need a title towel golf bag. You think Whitwill Sports can make that happen?
That would be sweet.
Listen, let's put it out there. That's what Smoke needs.
We need that in time for this tournament when we go down there.
That'll be tough. I just need it. I don't know if I need it for the tournament, but I need it. Pettey, can I get a quick 20-second timeout?
Absolutely.
All right, before we jump into the SEC football, and I got to get one last thing off my chest.
Oh, go for it. I love this.
All right, just bear with me for a second. And I know Bama fans want to get straight to football, and the football fans want to get straight to it. But yesterday, one of my DMV brothers, Kevin Durant, got traded again.
Wow. Yeah.
Again. To the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, young Jalen Green. He didn't show up in the playoffs, but when you say P, potential, yeah, it's a capital P. It ain't lowercase. And the terrorist himself on defense, not literally, because I know we're in that world now. My man, Dylan Brooks, the Canadian defender. And, you know, you asked me this morning, who won that trade? It's tough, right? Everybody's going to say, well, Houston. But is Houston is Houston a championship team with KD? I said it last week. My enigmas of superstars and all-timers. Aaron Judge, Aaron Rodgers.
A lot of Aarons.
KD. And was there one more? Was that all of my enigma list?
No, I feel like there was a fourth.
Aaron, A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Aaron, A-Rod. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, 3 Aarons. That was the 3 Aarons.
Right? And Kevin Durant. Like, such uber talent, but they lack the ability to inspire others to play above their natural skill set. And I've tried to find a way to quantify that. And when I do, I'm going to sell it for $15.99 to be a zillionaire, because I think everybody would want it, because there's so many talented like superstars, but they just lack the ability to inspire others to play above and beyond who they are. And when you think about the it factor guys are Kobe Bryant. It factor guys are LeBron James. I know a lot of people, LeBron get the best out of everybody. Michael Jordan. Tom Brady. Just natural winners and not all of those guys are uber talent, but their elite skill set is inspiring others to play above theirs and never disappoint, because you're looking at a guy that's going to give you his best at all times. I just had to get that out. I appreciate y'all.
And again, Efron brings up a great point. Houston giving up so many picks. This isn't even the KD that went to Golden State 8 years ago. This is some tread off those tires. I don't know if it's worth what they gave up. Greek Freak, that's a good one. He might be one that could creep into that conversation.
You know, I wouldn't say that, because Giannis won a championship. Just Giannis.
Yeah.
With a home team. You've seen Giannis go from a super athletic guy to a refined player and one of the better ones in our lifetime and one of the all-time greats. And he's done it. And you've seen others, Chris Middleton, you've seen other guys play up around him. Just not him being like KD is an assassin scorer, an elite talent.
Greatest of all time.
But you don't see the inspiration of like, why didn't he win it at Texas? We haven't seen a freshman like that. We've never seen a 7-footer like with what he could do offensively. It's like there's no weakness offensively to him.
Yeah, you can't stop that in college.
But he just
Melo won it all at Syracuse.
I mean, you can't win with Russell, James. Like you can't win with 3 MVPs. So if you can't win with 3 MVPs when you're called upon to be the guy, like in Golden State, he was the number one option in terms of scoring.
Yeah, but they were winning that. I mean, it's arguable they were winning. It's debatable that they could win that without him. Still, though,
I don't know if they make it look that easy. We've seen him win without.
It's not as
he
easy.
Made it look easy, and when Bron and Kyrie was on it, they had to get somebody else.
They had to fight.
There you go. And he's just an assassin when you talk about scoring. But they already had a guy when the pressure was on him. Who was it? It was Steph. At that time, Klay Thompson was a two-way player that can play, that can give you buckets on offense, but still be a perimeter defender. You had Draymond that was a tough muscle. So all KD had to go in there. He didn't have to do anything special other than be himself and just drop buckets. Yep. So Golden State was the best situation for him. If I was him, I would have never left.
It's an interesting trade, man. But I tell you what, it's a year of interesting trades in the NBA. With you had the trade between LA and Dallas that had a lot.
They say Luka's in the gym, bro, but I don't know. Maybe LeBron rubs off on him, gives him his chef, and he gets on his workout regimen. But that was just that was just my NBA spill, and I know that we got to get to
But when it does make sense, hit up willsports.com today. Tell them the promo code standard, get 20% off. And that's one thing that does still have tread on the tires, that title towel, and it'll keep them on. But look,
need my title towel bag.
Like I mentioned before, this is our first segment that we're bringing back. We've been together for a year, Smoke, I guess. We're getting right into college football season. We're getting close to that year anniversary, I guess. I saw someone mention we got 68 days. And, man, we got to start talking about who's going to make the playoffs. Again, this is a segment we had last year. I put up nice little graphics, and Smoke told me whether or not I was crazy if those teams had real chances to make the playoffs or not, if they belonged in a different tier or if I was dead on. So, man, Smoke, I'm going to present these. I'm going to tell you why this team is on this list, and you're going to tell me why I'm crazy or why I got it. Hey, good day, K-Spray. What's up? Brian Russell, Tang. Nappy, what's up, all you guys? Efron, keep those questions coming. Smoke. We're going to start at the bottom, though. These are the teams that have no chance to make the college football playoffs. Now, guys,
damn.
I'm not
Just
saying
like
they
that.
have no chance to make a bowl game. Everybody in the SEC has a chance to go because there's
Right. We ain't talking about this. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about the I get you. Let's do it.
We're talking about we talking playoffs.
Playoffs.
And these are the teams that don't have a prayer. Sorry, guys. And look, you can check it out on the graphics. Let me take this little banner off here so you can see.
Hey, listen, everyone that's in our live chat right now, do me a favor. Just give a fire, a clap, a thumbs up for my man Pettey, because Pettey's been on this graphic kick for a minute. And if y'all don't know, he puts in so much for, so please give him the best comments ever. Pettey, you are the best graphic maker in the entire world. And I'm telling you, without the graphics, the show just don't go on. Man, please live chat, give it up for my man Pettey. Hoorah.
When I'm with Smoke, I realize I got to take things to the next level. So that's what we're doing here at the opening kick. And if you can see, we got it's the no chance. We got our man. This is for Justin Riley. We got the king of WWF himself. No chance in hell of making the playoffs. We got Mississippi State. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's just that they may be the worst in the SEC. Kentucky coming off of 3-4 win season. I don't know if they did enough in the portal. Vanderbilt, great story. Think they can make a bowl. Diego Pavia is starting to chirp a little bit.
Diego on fire. Him and Josh Pate going at it on the internet on social, bro. Boy, that's the idea.
Your man Clark Lee's getting it going. And in Arkansas, look, I think Talon Green's a great quarterback. I think Bobby Petrino can do a lot with him. There's just too much firepower in the SEC for Arkansas to overcome it. Smoker, am I missing it, or any of these guys?
The only one that I would say, what's on the lips of just getting spit into the next categories is Arkansas, aka Arkansas.
Okay.
But everybody can't get put in the box. Just leave them right where they are. I agree with you.
Okay. Well, like it. So far, we're me and Smoker simpatico. I'm assuming that will change at some point. This next one, I don't think they're going to make it, but if the stars were to align for these programs, there's certain things that are there that could work in their favor.
Saying that we have a chance.
May have a chance. And we're talking about the Tennessee Volunteers. Look, they lost their star in Nico, but they still got a manageable schedule. If they could get over a few hurdles, you never know. Missouri, same thing. Drinkwitz has done a hell of a job in the portal. He's also got a manageable schedule, and the man just seems to win the games he's supposed to. He can get over the hump. The next one, the Florida Gators. Look, schedule is hellacious. Everybody knows it. The same as last year. It just flips over. But they do have a young gun in DJ Lagway. Can he get going? Can Billy Napier? That's if the stars align. If that kid is as special as they think. And the last one's Texas A&M. Look, it's Texas 8-4 for a reason. They've got all the talent in the world. Elko's got him a gunslinger at Marcel Reed at quarterback. They've got talent at the wideout position, but A&M's got to prove it. At some point, they got to win some damn games. So Tennessee, Mizzou, Florida, and A&M Smoke if the stars.
All right, you know what, Pettey? I think out of this, if the stars align group, I would take Tennessee out, and I would put Tennessee in no chance.
No chance.
Ooh. I don't think they're in the category of Mizzou, Florida, or A&M. For Florida, Mizzou, and A&M, like Mizzou's schedule lines up for them. There's just some questions, like most teams are going to have quarterback play, but their schedule and what they've done in the last few years, they've shown you they have a good enough formula to get to 10 wins. And Eli Drinkowitz has done a heck of a job of recruiting, portal, and high school. Bo Probilia has an opportunity. I mean, he was a backup at Penn State, but like everyone needs a chance. And I think his skill set says good enough, right? Florida with DJ Lagway. Now you talk about an it factor guy. He's an it factor. But I don't know if they're deep enough, but I would leave him in that category. A&M, I like A&M. Pettey, I like him. I was just talking to Roman Harper before I got on, and we were talking about just teams, and I said A&M, but I'll get to the next one. But like I said, Tennessee out. Put them in there, no chance. Get them out. Okay. No chance. No shot. You can't lose Nico and think that you're a better team.
my problem with A&M, Smoke, is every year I do this. I see them on paper, and I'm like, this is the year A&M's going to prove us all wrong.
Yeah, but the quarterback gets hurt, Petty. You can't do nothing when the quarterback goes down. I think Marcel Reed is on the cutting edge of stardom. I like him. Okay. I like what they did in the portal. I believe in Coach Elko as a defensive mind with Jay Bateman coming over. I like what they got going on, Petty. I like this. This hold tight. This hold tight.
Okay. This next category is the teams that they're a little above if the stars were aligned. They've got a little more gas in the tank, but it still would be a surprise based off what they lost or what they did the previous season. And Smoke, only 3 teams on this list.
The Magnificent 3.
My Ole Miss Rebels, your arch rival Auburn Tigers, and those Boomer Sooners coming out of Norman. Look, I think these could be the surprise teams this year. And why do I say surprise? Because last year, going into the season, man, with the talent Ole Miss had going, it was almost thought as a lock to make the playoffs, and they didn't. You see what they lost to the NFL draft. You see what Lane had to do in the portal to rebuild this. So the expectation isn't playoff or bust this year for Ole Miss. So, but there's pieces there. There's a quarterback that can get it done. They did well recruiting receiver. Did they retool the offensive line? Did they get better at running back? Can they replace that unbelievable defensive line? Again, their schedule's very manageable. So the pieces are there. The expectations are not. Does Kiffin do better without expectations? Who knows? The next one, Auburn, kind of looks like Ole Miss from the year before. You got the coach. Your boosters went all in. You got your quarterback. You got a receiving core. Your defense is pretty damn stout. You got a few hurdles on the schedule, but the schedule's pretty manageable for Auburn after a few spots. And then the final one's Oklahoma. Again, did a great job going up to Wazoo, getting Mateer, getting the offensive coordinator. You know the defense is going to be stout under Venables. These are my teams that could surprise based off last year's results or what they lost, but could find their way into the playoffs when we look up.
Petty, I'm throwing a white flag.
Here we go.
I mean, even Cisco, the kid media, they're telling you, Petty, quit it on Ole Miss. Like, knock it off. I'm throwing the white flag. I'm not giving up yet, but I'm not throwing the yellow flag on you quite yet. You get the white one, just whew. You said a lot.
Do I drop them to no chance, or if the stars?
No. I don't think you put them in a no chance. Okay. But I would say I would flip A&M with Auburn.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say Ole Miss. Okay.
No. Ole Miss stays in that category. Ole Miss is going to get in another category, but just hold tight. Okay. Because I think Anthony Simmons can. He is one of those good players that we just haven't seen that much yet. But if you're in the world of knowing talent and projecting, that you're not far off in this projection.
Okay.
So A&M would go in the surprise. That's my surprise team. That's what I told Roman today. That's my surprise team.
And putting A&M.
I am putting A&M in the surprise team, and I'm taking Auburn, and I'm putting them in the. I don't think Auburn has a chance.
No chance, boy.
No
we dropped. Okay,
so
we've now dropped Tennessee and Auburn into the no chance.
Yeah, I don't think those teams have no. I don't think those teams are.
Cisco the Kid Media. I just realized, man, that might be our boy Tyler Siskey because the logo.
You think?
Yeah.
he's like KD. That's his burner account. I listen. I like what they've done to Auburn in terms of trying to upgrade that roster, but there's still big question marks on Jackson Arnold. Like it's still out, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still reason to doubt that he is that guy because we didn't see it last year at any point. I mean, they put a guy in that barely could throw in for him, and I get it, but he got punch drunk last year because he got hit around and he got lost. I don't know if you get out of that year one, and I know that Hugh is a good quarterback whisperer that makes the game more simple for the quarterback, but Yeah, they're not. There's no chance they get into the playoffs. I don't think so.
No
And Oklahoma, I would put Oklahoma in if the stars align group.
Okay.
Because John Mateer is a proven commodity at the quarterback position. Offensive line wise, they're young but talented. Defensive line wise, Todd Bates is one of the, if not the best defensive line coach in the United States. And I'm not saying it because I'm biased and he's one of my good friends, old teammates. I'm saying it because check his track record. Proof's in the pudding. And Brent Venables is getting back on the defensive side. Ben Arbuckle is bringing his offense with his quarterback. I like what they've done in terms of the running back room to slow that game down. Receiver-wise, they're talented. And like I said, John Mateer is going to make the game that much easier. And he's mobile. So if it all aligns, because that schedule is a mother. But if they can get through some of the headaches, they could be in that category. So right now, the only surprise team that I have, two teams in that is A&M. And I like where you have Ole Miss for now, where he's parked. I'm just saying parked. We have an opportunity to still kind of hit reverse or drive to put him in another category. But I like where you're going right now. You're getting an A right now, Petty. Just like for your graphics. A.
I don't hear that. I didn't hear that much in school. Look, Siski, and I agree with you, and I'm going to touch on Ole Miss a little bit, and this is why I have them in the surprise category. That you're right. They lose 4 guys to the NFL draft on the defensive line. But in the rare occasion, that was a year where Ole Miss actually hit it on the defensive line with Cam Franklin, Jeffrey Rush, the Eccles kid. And again, they've got to prove it on the field, though. So that's why it would be a surprise that they make it. It's also going to be a surprise, not a surprise that they don't make it. There's, replacing Jackson Dart still a tall task, regardless of the ceiling.
That's huge. But again, everyone's drinking the soup. I mean, even you. Forget the Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid is cool. That soup is hot.
Yeah. Give me.
You know what? Cisco the Kid media got 2 good points. If you can bring both of them up. And the first one's about Auburn. It says Auburn has to get through the first 6 at 5-1 to have a chance. Back half schedule is manageable. I agree with you. I agree 100% with you. You're doing your homework. And the next one that he makes a good point, and I'm only saying this because he agreed with me, Petty. Oklahoma is going to be good, but that schedule is a mother, bro.
Yeah, it
is a bumper car. It is. Whew. If they can get to the playoffs with this schedule, I would not be. It wouldn't surprise me if they make a run. If they can get through that. So, because that's a beast.
I agree with you. And it's they had, everybody talked about Florida last year. Oklahoma's schedule was equally as tough. It was just a little more spread out, but it was the same jugger, at week after week. And yeah, you're right. So Auburn's first 6, you've got Baylor on the road.
That ain't easy. That ain't an easy task.
Not an easy task. And if you lose that one, question marks start to fly out of the gate. Did we spend all this money?
That's not something you can walk into and think you can walk out. That quarterback from Baylor and Dave is going to – the boys are going to be ready to play.
Then you got Ball State will give a win, South Alabama a win, but then you go on the road to Oklahoma. This is another one we got a surprise team.
It's 2 teams that need to figure it out. And I'm taking John Mateer, Brett Venables, knowing – Jackson Arnold's weakness, using that against him, and I would say Oklahoma comes out on top.
And then the very next week, you got to lick your chops, pick up your pants, and go to Texas A&M. And
that ain't, I'm telling you, that ain't an easy task.
Tough schedule.
Marcel Reed, they got something cooking, bro.
Auburn and Oklahoma could be better teams that are victims of schedule death.
Hey, they say strength of schedule might go into favor this year on playoff teams, so we'll see. But yeah, we keep going. Let's not beat up time because
I know we are. Cisco,
time is of the essence.
Pressure was on last year, not this year. That's why it's a surprise, Siski. We're gonna get you, Siski. Why don't you come back on the show and we'll debate this next week, big boy. This one. So you're telling me there's a chance? These are teams that were right there last year.
Yeah, you know what, Petty? He is right. You got it. That's what I was saying. I threw the white flag on you for Ole Miss. Like, Just hear me out. Just give me a second. I gotta navigate through these murky waters that you create for your little nimble heads that you keep on talking about. Ole Miss. Oh my! Listen, you can't surprise anyone when you have the bankroll like Ole Miss. You listen. When Lane was there year one, oh my gosh, surprise! You can't be a surprise and a disappointment. They've been disappointing. So you can't surprise me when there's been. I mean, everyone thought that you were going to win. Everyone had hope. Like when you recruit and you have Walter Nolan, all those boys up front, you have a first-round quarterback, receivers. You ain't surprising nobody. This is. You are on really the pressure cooker. They're another list, but like I said, I think that I'm going to take them. I'm telling you now, I'm taking them out to surprise you because you ain't surprising nobody. Okay. You can't surprise me and like no.
And again, maybe that's what it would surprise me because if you couldn't do it last year, I question can you do it?
Yeah, but that ain't surprise. That's surprising you because you're a hopeful guy. Like you're one of those guys. Like I told you they're gonna suck. They stink. They can't play. And when they're good, oh my god! I knew it's reverse psychology. You're not gonna get me on that. Knock it off. Enough.
It works 60% of the time. It works every time.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I'm with you, Cisco. They ain't replacing them with nobody. Not that we know of. They're replacing them with B-list players. You can't go from A-list to B-list and think that you're gonna be great. Sorry.
There you go. Okay. All right. I'm giving up on this one.
No, you don't have to give up. We just park them in another category.
This is so you're telling me there's a chance. Look, South Carolina was an eyelash away from it last year, and they're returning that dynamic defensive end in Dillard and Stewart. They're returning Lenora Sellers at quarterback, who as a young gun got a lot of people's attention. Can he take that next step? My question is, can Beamer do it when the pressure? He's another one. Can he do it when the pressure's on? The other one's LSU, Smoke. I mean, Nussmeier, he's a Heisman caliber quarterback. I know a lot of people question, is he really? Go watch the tape. Nussmeier makes the plays, man. And he's going to have the receiving core around it. LSU always does, but they beefed it up again with the transfers. We've talked about it on this show with Nick Anderson from Oklahoma to go with Aaron Anderson and Brown from
Kentucky.
So he's going to have the guys to sling it to. The question with LSU is defense. Can they finally get it together on defense?
They got players, Petty. The players are there. They just got to inspire them to play. They've done it in the portal again, edge rushing. And we're all going to figure this thing out real quick. You know who they got the first game of the season? Them Tigers. Dabo's Tigers, not Go Tigers. Dabo's Tigers.
And so, LSU hasn't done well out of the gate here under Brian Kelly. I mean,
LSU hasn't done well with Brian Kelly, Petty. Knock it off. They haven't done well. And you know what?
Oh, Cisco doesn't believe in South Carolina either.
I'm not going to say it. I think that I would take South Carolina out of the so you're telling me there's a chance group and put them in if the stars align. Okay. And here's why. We know that Lenore Sellers is one of the most dynamic players in college football. Offensive line, it's not up to par for SEC play for a brutal and a long season. We know that Dylan Stewart on the defensive line is the best edge rusher in college football as a true sophomore. But what else is behind him? You lost secondary. You lost second level. Getting back on the offensive side, we don't know who's going to run the ball. Well, they went out in the portal and got a guy. What's my man name? Agave. What's that? Augustus. He transferred from Colorado. Name slips me, but kid out of Naples. I recruited him out of Naples. He has another brother. He went to Colorado. The other brother, I think, went to a MAC school. He just committed the other day. I'm losing his name, but I can see his face. He transferred from Colorado, went to Virginia, left Virginia, now is signed to South Carolina. as just a depth piece at the running back position. That's telling me, if I'm forward thinking and I'm forecasting, that they don't feel confident that Rasul Faison is going to get that 6th year of eligibility or 5th year of eligibility, the extra year of eligibility to play. So again, that's a question mark at the running back position. And also a question at the receiver position. Like, you got a quarterback, but at some point, the 5-star Nick Harbor, that was the class of, was that 24, like the number one guy, he got to show up and play. 6'5", 240, running a 4.2, 10, 1, 100. At some point, like, track guys run fast. Receivers catch the ball and run fast with it to the end zone. You got to show up and do that. So there's just too many question marks. There it is. There it is. We pull it up. That's my guy. There he is, out of Naples, Florida. That you got to show up and play at the receiver position. And if you don't have receiver play and you still have quarterback play, I just don't see it. Too many question marks for me for them to go in the category of teetering for being that good. So I'll put him in that if the stars align category. That's just me. I think there's only one group, so you're telling me there's a chance.
I like that because, look, I wanted to cause a little bit of stir on this one. This is the one I debate because
you try to sneak that past me. That's all.
I did. I think, look, Dylan Stewart, a player like that, can absolutely and look, and Siski's right. They did lose his cohort at defensive end and both the middle guys.
Kyle Kennard is gone, bro.
Kennard's gone. Bennett's gone. But you got to
Buffalo Stewart. Drafted it's
you completely change an offense with a guy like Stewart. But again, I question, can Beamer do it when the spotlight's on him? Because they are going to be ranked. There is going to be a lot of praise coming in on those two kids. But the next one's LSU, man. Harold Perkins had a freshman year that you thought he was going to be a top 5 draft pick. And then 2 years later, we're still wondering what happened. You know, he's on a milk carton. LSU's defense used to
injured,
be made.
Man. Injuries. Get
the
injuries, and he's playing out of position. They want to make him but he's not. Position. But you know what? He's not a big guy to play just edge, but that's what he is. You got to find something. He's not an off the ball linebacker because they got Witt out there, Weeks, and Harold doesn't process it quick enough to see ball, diagnose, get downhill, and be an off the ball linebacker because he looks lost at times. But he can get after the quarterback. So it's some way, somehow, they got to find a way to use him for what he's really good at. And that's edge rushing. So whatever they got to do, figure that out. But off the ball, I don't I feel my stomach got butterflies in it. But you know what? There's only one team for me in that category, LSU.
I think there's a chance.
It's a chance. They spend a bunch of daggone money. And they got a first round quarterback, and they got receivers. They went out and spent a bunch of money on the defense and the secondary with Mansour and Delane. They got DJ Pickett, a young, talented kid out of Tampa that they did a good job of recruiting. They said he's developing well. So it's just, we got to see it, but we don't have to wait long. Out the chute, we're going to see it. And it might turn into a snowball effect if they don't get this first one. Well, I don't want to see BK slamming hands on the table. I don't want to hear anything after the fact. Show me the money, just like Missouri. Show me state. Don't tell me. Don't have me imagine. Don't try to predict. I'm in all facts right now. Give it to me.
You're right. They got Cade Klubnik coming out of the gate in Clemson, and I don't know if Patrick Peterson or the Honey Badger are walking through that door. Like you said, they got some transfers. We're going to find out real quick on LSU.
Oh, you'll find out.
But you win. They pull that one out, and hold on now. We're having a different
they pull it out. They'll be in good position, but they still got to go to work.
All right, Smoke. These aren't my mortal locks. But these are teams. If I'm out at Vegas in a week or two, I might throw a little cheddar on that.
You don't got to be no daggone Vegas for your daggone gambling addiction.
You can do that. Oh yeah, you can do that anywhere now, right? I'm betting on you. Look, man, call me what you will. one I think is going to show back up. We've talked about them. You played for them. The other one, I'm betting on them until they don't show up at it, and that's Alabama and Georgia smoke.
Right. You know what? I like that category. I'm betting on you because I think that we don't know what Bama's quarterback position is going to look like. We know what the offensive line is going to look like.
It's going to be strong.
Bro, they're big, massive. And they're experienced. Like, Bama fans, knock it off.
Yeah.
You got to go to work with this group. Your left tackle might be the first one taken. Your center's going to be up there. You got the daggone my man Jaden Roberts that looked like all he needs to do is just sit in a room and he looked like he just eats weights, slap people around, and he is mean as hell.
Yeah.
Right? Up the middle, you're fine. You all you have to do is replace Tyler Booker, and whoever the left guard is going to be, you'll be perfectly fine. Running backs, you went in the portal, got one, and you have Jam coming back. You got Daniel. Like, you got a good group. You said your tight end position is a little bit weak, just not because of player, just because of depth. Receivers, man, do we have to keep talking about them? No, because they got them.
Nope.
Defensive back, there. Defensive line, those guys got to show up and play. Right, we can't keep hearing about, they're young and they're developing and just give them a chance. Listen, chances for losers, right? I'll give you enough chance you're going to lose, right? Winners have opportunities that they execute over a period of time because they're consistent. The second level linebacker, Lawson's coming off an injury. They went out and got the kid from Colorado, Green Hill. Fine. Jefferson is there. Love it. Now, I'm not going to get into all the names of positions and the animals and the fur and all the cloth color that's in this. But they are in a position that if you're betting on them, you're going to be in a good spot of winning. Georgia, bro, as much as I said that guys getting in trouble and at some point it'll get up to Kirby, like, when has Kirby ever let us down? Not often. But at some point, do we believe in Gunnar Stockton?
I don't know.
Do they have enough receivers, not names and bodies at the receiver position?
The Branch kid from USC coming in, they've got him penciled at receiver.
He's a good gadget guy. I haven't seen him line up, run routes, get open, separate, catch in traffic, split defenders, score. I've seen him punt return. I've seen him catch crossers, and I've seen all those skill sets are there. I just got to see him all match up to being a receiver and Mike Bobo getting in his bag in terms of creating some easy plays for Stockton. I love the running back, Frazier. Offensive line, I have to believe it's Georgia. So they're not going to look as pedestrian as they did last year at times. Now, the draft people will say, man, they got 3 or 4 guys drafted last year. So why? So that got to do with a combination of player and coach and scheme matching up all together for it to work. But I'm going to say Georgia's Georgia, and they're going to be able to run the ball control. Bobo is an outstanding coach. He'll find a way. Defense with Glenn Schumann, it's Georgia. They're going to cover you up. They're going to apply pressure, and they're going to be firm and strong and nasty. So, yes, I'll put my money on them because I believe that they're going to get to the playoffs. Some way, somehow, Kirby's going to find a way. It's too damn good of a coach. Georgia's too damn good of a program for it not to happen. Now, I did come out early on this year and said they might go 8-4, but 9-3 is not that far-fetched.
9-3.
And I think you get in the playoffs 9-3 with Georgia.
Ooh.
I do, yeah. I think a 9-3 SEC team gets into the playoffs.
Oh, you think a 9-3 gets in this year?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
9-3 with strength of schedule. And I told you, I have them beating Alabama this year. I do. You don't, I do. When we went through our schedule, recap last week, I got them beaten. So if you beat one of the teams that we have as one of the stronger teams in the nation, yeah. I got Georgia in it.
I'm on the Bama Kool-Aid, but I'm also a bet man. And when you're on a heater, you stay with it. It's like when you're at the roulette table and it keeps hitting red, you bet red till it doesn't. oh, this red team is always in the playoffs. And until they're not, I'm betting on them. So that's how that works. And look, I like how I put an S on this because there's really only one. Mortal locks. It's one mortal lock. And look, maybe not. Crazy things can happen, something nuts. But with their schedule, with what they have returning, the talent at Texas, I'm sorry, Texas is as lucky as it can be to get in the playoffs. Tell me why I'm wrong, Smoke.
No, you're not. I think Texas is my favorite. If you said, you know what, Smoke, give me 3 teams that you would say have the best chances of winning a national championship this year, I would say Texas, Clemson, Penn State. Okay. Just not playing the game and just looking at their team, evaluating their team. I would say those are the 3 strongest teams to me. Wow. Again, Clemson, Texas, Penn State.
Yeah. I'd have to look more at Penn State. I'm
whoa, hit the brakes.
Franklin's going to have to prove it. Franklin's one
of those. Man, what does Franklin got to prove? He was an interception away from playing a national championship game. I get what you're saying. He has to beat Penn State, but you don't have to. You don't have to beat Penn State. You don't have to beat Ohio State. You don't have to beat Michigan to get into the daggone playoffs. You don't have to. Sorry. When you have a top 5 pick or a top 5 quarterback, you have maybe the best tandem running backs in college football, right? Allen and Singleton. Offensive line is sturdy. Receiver plays good enough. Jim Knowles just came over on the defensive side as a defensive coordinator. It counts for something. And they got players over there. Denai Seton Smith can go, bro. And it's Penn State. Knock it off. All right. Offensive coordinator, Andy Kolnicki. Bro, Penn State's on a heater, bro.
Hey, we'll circle back.
I'm with it. Hey, listen, time will tell.
Yeah, it will.
Time will tell.
But Ephraim has Texas at 9-3. I think he's had everybody.
Yeah. Ephraim, listen, whatever you want to bet, a case of coconut water, I'll bet you. Nah, sorry. At worst, they go 10-2, and if they do, they're still in the playoffs.
So they've got, now I'll tell you what, they got Ohio State out of the gate. That's going to be a hell of a kickoff game.
Yeah, tell me who's the quarterback for Ohio State.
And then, so where are your other two losses? On the road to Florida, Oklahoma, and the Red River. I mean, you got Georgia.
He's reaching.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I have Ephraim. He says, so you got Penn State over Oregon. I do. To me, that's easy. Listen, Dante Moore is your quarterback. Evan Stewart is going to be down for a long period of time in the season. They have to retool their offensive line. Both tackles got drafted, so you got to find 2. I know they got Isaiah Worlds, really good football player, but to me, an offensive line, you just can't get 5 guys and throw them together. You have to be a cohesive group with continuity in order to be a good offensive line. And again, Kanafi, I keep telling you guys, he said number 1 pick with what film, Smoke? I didn't say number 1 pick. Number 1 tackle in the NFL draft, or even top 2. Whatever you are, if you're top 2, 3, 4, or 5 at any position in an NFL draft, most likely you're going to be in the first round. There's only 32 of them. So if you have one of the better tackles in college football, and I would love for you, Kanafi, to find me one that's better than Proctor. Bama fans, you guys got to knock it off. Leave that young man alone. He's good. I'm not. You can come after me and say I'm not right, but there's a lot of people else that's going to be wrong too, because a lot of people believe he's good. Go ahead.
Tubbs Nell says, I think he's talking about Georgia. They don't have Bowers to focus on. Yeah, but Delp and Lucky are good. They got to have a quarterback.
All right. Bowers is a talent. Like you're not going to see Bowers in the next 10 or 15 years at the tight end position. So we're not counting on that. So every time that we get in a conversation or discussion about players, like stop with the one-offs and the one-ups. If you want to get in the conversation with me, bring something else other than They don't have the greatest player again. Yeah, we know that. Bring something else. Do your homework. Here we go. Christian Love. What do y'all think about Florida State calling it? Waste of time. I'm not even going to touch on it. It's a transfer that's 5'9". If when he get in the game and shows up, hoorah.
We'll see how it plays.
Yeah, word salad, bro. Not a lot of substance to it. Feed it to a rabbit.
Smoke.
What else we got?
Man, I think we answered the questions as they came along, interacted with the cast as they went. It's been a heck of a show, Smoke. We've come to that hour. Man,
we hit it right there.
We did. I'm going to let you, before I close it on out, tell them where the cat.
What do you want me to give the benediction like I'm at church?
Yeah, I do.
You ain't paid me enough. Listen, you can find me at Coach Smoke GVD on X. I'm usually dropping some good content. If you have a question for me, throw it on there. I just saw a copy of my best friend, former teammate, roommate, classmate, Antonio Carter. It was him and Cadillac on the cover for the 02. What was that? I forget what the cover of the magazine was.
It was Athlon.
Yes, man. I just wish my guy didn't get hurt, man. But listen, hey, you know what? It's a beautiful thing because he's aspiring young wide receivers as the receiver coach at Alabama A&M with my other classmate that's the offensive coordinator, Big Dennis Alexander, Westwood's own, and the great Sam Shade, who I had in the top 5 safeties in Alabama football history as the head coach.
Good stuff, man. And Smoke, you bring it back, man. Athlon, that's one of the things the internet kind of killed that was special about football season. You didn't have the internet to keep you posted. Yeah, also,
I used to like going through the magazines and seeing that you was on it, and it was cool, man.
It was man. Cool. You got to see what player got to who's going to be on the cover. What player?
Yeah, man. We all jostled for that, man. It was fun, but you know,
I miss those days just a little bit.
And you know what, Petty? It ain't coming back. So.
But you know what is?
But you know what is coming back though? I heard that tomorrow's show is Dynamite. Aniana's favorite player ever, the best player ever in Aniana history. I hear that's going to be on the Bama Standard tomorrow.
That's right.
Now I won't be around.
Me either.
Oh well,
I'm out as well, man. And that's what's crazy. I'm in Aniana, and we got Aniana's very own Lamont
blasphemous behavior.
From the Bill Curry days. If anybody remembers, look, I remember I was in the stadium the day that Ole Miss went up 21-0 on Alabama in the first 7 minutes of the game. And 64 unanswered points later, half of them were to Lamont Russell and Kevin Turner at fullback and one Gary Hollingsworth. We're going to have him tomorrow night, Lamont Russell, Aniana's own. Don't miss it. Hit that like and subscribe so you don't, it just comes on. But, yeah, got that title. Get that title towel, whitwillsports.com. Don't miss us tomorrow night. Also, if
I got it pettied. I got it pettied.
You pettied it. That's how you petty a title towel right there, ladies and gents.
I pettied it.
That title towel. whitwillsports.com. Tell them promo code standard so you can have it with you when you come down to Dothan on July 10th and 11th. The Bama Standard is coming to your city, Dothan. We will be at Buffalo Wild Wings from 5 to 6.
B-Dub.
Auburn Legends. We're going to have a live show, and then we're going to have a golf tournament for Kevin Jackson's ALS sponsorship.
Will I need that daggone golf bag, man?
Yeah, we need that.
And I need them. And if you put some sticks in it, I'll go on and I'll show up and I'll go ahead and get a couple of 4s out there for you.
Well, but more importantly, we're here every Monday night. Me and my man Smoke Dixon on the opening kick. As always, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you being with us. We love it. We love this show. To all of our fans, Tan, Kanafi, Ephraim, Justin Summerlin, always appreciate you. Latoya dropping in chat. Jimmy Clay getting me gas money to go to Dothan. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week.
Siski, great job tonight.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and Cisco. Man, if you're still there, Siski, it sounds like he might have dropped out.
Don't call that man Cisco, bro.
He got tired of me talking Ole Miss, so he just said to hell with it. We're gonna get Siski back. We need to get him back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we can do that. But he said you got to show up with some a 12-pack or something.
Siski likes them Diet Millers.
He likes something. Listen, man. So till the next time.
Till the next time. See you guys.